Hi, I'm Gail Gross with scrapandgail.ctmh.com. This video is going to offer you several aspects of this great true story interactive mini album that Close to My Heart has created for National Papercrafting Month. To start with, I'm going to show you everything that comes in the kit, which is truly everything you need other than adhesive. Then I'm going to walk you through my book and show you the ways that you can adjust it to your personal desires. And finally, I've got a couple pages that aren't done yet, and I'm going to actually put those together, and you can see just how quick and easy things work with this project. I have timestamps down below in the information for the video so that you can jump right to the section of the video that you want. Now, if you purchase this kit from my website and you run into any kind of difficulties, even though they give you these great printed instructions with the kit, I'm available to help you. If you're not local, we can do something virtually or even just a phone call, and we'll be able to work you through any little glitches that you come upon. So there's a link to my website, scrapandgail.ctmh.com, as well as you can just email me, scrapandgailaz@gmail.com. That information's in the information as well. So have fun taking a look at the project. I am so excited to share with you the True Story mini album that Close to My Heart has put together for National Papercrafting Month. Lose track of all the different special months that there are activities for. But this is paper crafting, and it works no matter what your experience is with different projects, whether you've been just a card maker or a 12 by 12 scrapbooker. This 6 by 8 mini album is quick and easy to put together and really packs a punch. You get everything you need in a kit. It includes punch out, die cut images. You can see them here on the cover that you can use as you wish throughout the book. They give you suggestions, but if you want to do it a little bit differently, that's up to you. You'll notice these designs here, this scalloped circle border and the backing piece. Those all came off of punch out sheets. You can see where mine came out right here, this piece that has the true story. And all of them have all of these pieces, and the nice thing is that when you punch these out, the back of it tells you what page it goes to, so you can keep things organized. Now, I've already done the project, but you can see how many different pages I had to punch out. These are 12 by 12 sheets, and I will let you know that I did this project back in November with a special business program that I was doing with Close to My Heart, and we were doing it virtually, and in 2 hours I had the majority of this book done. 15 out of the 20 pages were completed in that 2-hour period of time. Now, I had punched all of these out ahead of time. That took me about 30 minutes. Then what I did, I only have these sections left, is I took 8.5 by 11 page protectors and I taped numbers to them, and everything for page 16 went into this pocket. And there you see, it says page 16. Everything for page 17 is in here. For 18 is here, and again, they've all got their numbers. And this is everything for page 19. So it kept it really handy. And as I went through the instructions, I was able to work that out. The instructions you will get in the kit that you receive, printed instructions. Now, because we did this before the printed instructions were available, I just have it on my iPad. But you can see here that this page tells you which size photos go on which page. And then it actually goes through all those punched out shapes and tells you which page they go on as well. And then you get to the actual instructions for putting the things together. And this is where every little piece is labeled, and then it will tell you how to attach that piece. Again, if you want to do things differently, that's up to you. In fact, this of mine is not even put down, because I don't know yet what I want the title of my book to be. True Story may work out. It may be Our Story. But these are those little chipboard letters that came off of that first sheet that I showed you. So I haven't applied a lot of those images throughout my book, nor have I used the stickers. And they come on a sheet. Some of them have been used because they're just border pieces. Others I'm waiting because I'm not quite sure how it's going to fit on the page with the pictures that I choose to use for it. So those are just great. And I want you to know also that the kit comes with these binder, I'm not quite sure, jump rings, I guess they're called. And I've seen a lot of albums where they are, they decorate these up with ribbons and so on, and you can go through the book and you can see how it flips. Now, the nice thing about it is that you can also insert this book into our 6x8 Everyday Life album. I'm going to go ahead and put the book into here just for me to give it a little bit more stability, and I'll be back and we're going to walk right through everything. As you can see, I've transferred my album to the 3-ring Everyday Life album, and now I'm going to be able to flip through the pages and do it a little bit faster because I don't have to worry about them coming off out of kilter. Everything is provided in this kit, so you're going to see that there's a lot of pockets and all of this information is exposed, unlike a page like this where our photos are back behind a page protector. So what Close to My Heart has done with this kit is provided flip flaps. And flip flaps, you'll put your pictures into them and that will protect them, no matter if they're loose in a pocket like this, or if you have them down on a page, like over here, where you can add photos to it over in that area. So let me explain that as I walk through this. But flip flaps are really fun and extremely versatile. So you've got 2 pockets on this page, and then back here you've got room for a couple of 3x3 photos. You could actually add another flip flap onto this if you wanted to get more. Now this one has room for 2 photos on this side, 2 photos on that side, and there's a flip flap here. It's going to, right now it's underneath, but I'm going to cut a slit to open it up and I can share that information with you. There's a few acrylic pieces. Look at these. Years ago, acrylic was a big deal and it seems to be coming back. So this is where you'll get to see right through, but you can have some little embellishments on here. There's a few more. I just haven't decided yet what I'm putting on there. This is another photo. Again, a flip flap will go over the picture when you put it in to this area of the book. This is a really fun page. It is a fold out page in multiple ways. So here it is, the 6x8. It opens up here and it opens up again. Then you have a photo down here that you will put in a flip flap before you adhere it. Then it opens up here and you've got room for 2 3x3 photos. And here's room for 3 3x4 photos, all on one 6x8 page. Then we've got another acrylic piece here, just an accent piece that you can add your sentiments to. And again, a little 2x2 photo on this side, room for 3 of them on that. Another 3x3, and I've just inserted the pieces that are supposed to go up here for the embellishment. I don't know yet, as I said, how I'm going to use it, so I'm just waiting, and I'll add all of that at the end. And then here's just a piece for journaling, and it slips right inside the pocket so you can see it. There's beautiful design on this side with some sentiments. If you didn't like those sentiments for your purposes at this point, you could always just cut another piece of cardstock and put something else over the top of it. It's that easy to make a change. But here comes our little overlay, which now that it's overlaying the flamingo pink back there, you've got it showing through and it's very, very clear. Another flip flap, and again, more things that are supposed to be on the page, and journaling spots, lots of journaling spots to tell the story of these pictures. Here comes another of those fold out pages. It's just right on the back of the previous page. It opens up at the top okay? And it opens up here, and it folds out here. Now you'll notice that it says page 12 right there. Well, I don't know if you remember on the other one, when we had that, there was a little heart. They've provided the hearts to go over the page numbers that are exposed on this particular fold-out flap. There's room again for a 3x3 photo down here. That closes up, it opens up. There's room for more 3x3 photos right over here in the flip flaps and journaling spots here, and more journaling. Or you could add more photos in there if that's what you want. These fold out pages are really fun, and I have one yet to do, pages 16 and 17, and I'm going to work on that when we finish looking at the book. Okay, here's another really fun partial sheet and a lot more 2x2 photos kind of on this flip up section here. On the back, you could add more photos if you wanted to, or just some other kind of embellishment, and I think that there's more of those hearts to use on this as well. Some of you may be thinking 2x2, that's a pretty small photo. In reality, I love the 2x2 size. I just went through some books that I made years ago, and I did use the 2x2s, and it's amazing what kind of detail you can get in there. Close to My Heart has partnered with Persnickety Prints, and Persnickety has a template so that you can create 2x2 photos for yourself and to use on a project like this. And they've got a special running during January. There's a video that tells you how to get your photos into that template, and also a discount code, 25% off 2x2 photos during the month of January with Persnickety. More information will be underneath the video, under the about this video section. So take a look there if you want more info about that. Now here's just a regular sheet protector that is designed for 4x6 photos. So you could always slip a 4x6 photo in there, but in this case we've mounted some 3x4s on some background paper and added them there. Now this is where I've got these 4 pages yet to make. Okay, I've got 19 and 18 there, and I've got 16 and 17 is hiding in my stack over here. But I'm going to pull those together, and I'm going to come back and you'll see how quickly that goes together. I am going to start putting together pages 16 and 17 for the True Story album. As I've said before, the pages don't take a great deal of time, and the nice thing about 16 and 17 is that they're one of those fold out pages that you saw in the book, and so that'll be a fun one for you to see really how nicely it's been designed to make the instructions very easy. This flap is actually a part of page 17. So this piece right here is the one that is page 16, and I'm going to write on there because this is the orientation that it needs to be, and I've just written a little 16 on it so that when I work with putting things on it to start with, that I know which way is up on this one. These are the pieces that I did when I punched everything out for page 16. And this one does not have a lot of materials on it. It's a pretty basic page. This is our base, and this is our journaling and our accent piece, and we're going to have one photo. So to start with, I need to apply this piece onto the base, and I've got an idea that from a video I watched recently of Jennifer McGuire's about how to match up when you're trying to get things to match perfectly one on top of the other. And that's tough sometimes. So she suggested using your stamp platform. Not everybody has a stamp platform. I think more people have a scoreboard. But anyway, what we're going to do is I'm going to put this base piece down. I'm going to put the adhesive onto it. And then I'm going to line this piece up with it into those corners and lay it flat down on top. And I am going to be perfect with that orientation for it. So let's get started by putting the adhesive on first. I am going to put this all the way around the edges. Because this book is not protected in a page protector, I do want to get as close to the edge as I can, but I don't need to go absolutely all the way to the edge. Because of the fold here, I'm going to come in just as close as I can with my tape runner. Sometimes that's a little bit tricky. But anyway, and I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive here to the outside parts where the holes are for keeping that together. And I'm going to get right up there. Now, again, this is going to go onto my scoreboard. And I want to make sure that this is oriented correctly. My holes are going to line up. And then I'm just going to slip this in and push it up against those corners, lay it flat, and now my piece is on perfectly. I have no overlap at all. So I really thank Jennifer McGuire for that tip, and know that it will come in handy for lots of people. Now we're going to build on this. And I've got my instruction piece over here, my instructions. I'm using them again on my iPad. You will have an actual printed copy of it that you can use. But what I'm going to do is add this piece along the edge. So once again, I'm just going to get my adhesive runner out and put the adhesive down on the whole strip, and then line that up. Now this one I'm just going to line up because it's not a perfect flat surface because of that folded piece that's there, and I'm just going to put it right along the edge. I chose to leave just a smidge of the border showing just because I didn't want to overlap too much in any given spot. Now this is our journaling piece that's going to go in the middle, and it's going to be covered up with a photo so that when you open it, you will be able to see the journaling. What I'm going to do is actually adhere this flip flap to the journaling piece first, and then put them down as a unit. That way I can hide the adhesive that's on this long flap here, but and have it underneath the journaling piece. But to do that, I'm going to match it up with where my photo is going to go, because the journaling piece is the same size, 4 by 6, as the photo is. I'm going to use these binder clips to hold the two of them together. Then I'm going to come back here and put adhesive on the edge of the photo of the journaling piece, okay? And then I'm going to push down on my flip flap. Okay, now that's adhered. This is going to be coming off. There's adhesive on that. I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on the rest of this journaling piece. You can see that's what I'm working with. Just put the adhesive there. Don't have to worry about adhesive on that end. And now I'm going to pull the backing off of my flip-flap adhesive. And I'm just going to look at this, and I am going to center it, eyeball it, centering it on the page, and put it down. And there we've got it. That's page 16 done, until you put your photo in. Okay? So now we're going to start with page 17. And as I said, this flip flap is a part of page 17. What we're going to do first of all, though, is put the base on this one, same way that we did with the other one. This is 17. I have to turn it the other direction in order to get it up there into my scoreboard. These are all of the pieces that are in my page 17 page protector. So I've got all these little journaling tags that are going to be used. I'm going to set them right over here. These are all of the pocket pieces for the page, and these are the pieces that go on the flap. So I've got two pieces here that are the same. I'm going to set them aside because the first thing I want to do is get the page base down. Again, I'm going to be matching up those holes. Now, because I've got some dimension back there, it's not lining up quite as easily as the other one did, but I'll just apply some pressure to it as I put it on so that I make sure that it gets exactly what it needs when I'm putting the base piece down. Again, I'm covering this piece rather than the top one. Just for me, it's a little bit easier to work with the top piece not having adhesive on it in case I set it down too soon or something. So there we go. Now I'm up in the corner with that, and I'm going to come in here with this the same way and pop it in and make sure that I'm matching up there with those holes and the corners, and it's looking good. And I'm going to push it down. Now I've got the base page down for page 17. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now and fold this because that's the way it's supposed to be done. Okay, and I am going to use, normally I would use a bone folder to do this, but I am going to use the end of my marker here because it appears that my bone folder didn't make it over to the table. So my instructions for this flap tell me to first of all apply one of the circles. And the reason why I wanted to get this piece down is because the picture in the instructions shows that that circle is positioned in such a way that it's just about even with this pink border strip on the background page. So if I can line that up in such a way that that is just about the same, then I will feel like I'm getting close to the way they want it to be. Now what I'm going to do is pick this up, and I know that this is this line here. I'm just going to put some adhesive on this piece. It's going to get covered up with other pieces over it. So let's put that down again, and it's pretty much centered. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not measuring it because I'm not worried about it being absolutely perfect. Okay, and I maybe should have put it on the top, but you know what? It's going to work this way no matter what. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put this piece on, and I am going to I'm not going to be able to stick this onto the scoreboard because I've got all of the other things going on in there with it, including that my tape runner just ran out. I had a spare refill sitting by the side, so I got that changed out. And so now I am just going to add this piece to the front of this card. I'm going to flip it over this way so that I can match it up here with the corners. Okay, and get that down, and I can still fold this piece over. Then is my journaling piece that goes right in the middle. And I'm just going to center that. And the front of the flap is done. So now we're going to flip it to the back side of the flap, and we're going to put the other piece of papaya colored pattern paper on over the back. That will cover up the part of that circle that I applied that you see from the front, and get the adhesive on. And now I can butt that up against my fold. I actually want to make sure that as I do this, that it is going to fold, so I don't want it into that crease too much. So I am moving it. I've got a little bit stuck down, and it's not even. And I'm going to check to make sure that it closes. And I'm going to push it in just a little bit further. It's going to be fine. It still closes all right. So there we go. Now I am ready to put the adhesive on this piece and put it down right over the top of the other one. And I'm going to try to get as much adhesive right there at the edges of that circle. I don't know if you can see how I got that pretty close to the edges. And again, I want to keep it straight, just like I did the other gingham pattern, so that it kind of looks even with everything else. There we go. Now the next piece is to just add this little decorative circle on top. And that goes right there. Okay. And then there's one of the chipboard hearts. And I'm just going to add the adhesive and stick that right on it as well. Now, there is a sticker from the sticker sheet that says Simple Things that is supposed to go right here. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to put anything on that until I know what my pictures are going to be. Now, I want to show you the way this page looks. This page is full of tags. And there's pockets that we're going to create to put on here. So I'm going to build those pockets first and then just stick the tags in. This is just a spot to put a lot of journaling, or you could add extra flip-flaps and put photos in there if you want to. The first thing is to add this little piece at the top. It's a scalloped floral piece, but it kind of looks like a piece of washi tape. Okay, so that's just going to go up here. I'm going to make it overlap. The photo does not show that, but you know what? That's what I want to do. So that's what I'm doing right there. Now I've got 3 pockets. They are all scored so that I can fold them and then build those pockets for the pieces to go into. Now we've got 3 of these pockets. A small one, and that's this one, and the 2 that are the same size. Okay. Now I folded them, but I still like to burnish them. And I did grab my bone folder off my other table and brought it over here so that they're a nice crisp fold. They lay a little bit flatter that way when you've got your project completed. And it makes it easier that they don't get stuck on things when you're moving them around, like with the adhesive on those. Okay, now, this is the top pocket, and then comes this pocket, and then this pocket. Now, there are no dimensions given as far as how far from the top, but you can see here that this tag, the sample they've shown is this tag is coming up, angled a little bit, and just about touching that little scallop strip. I'm going to use that as a guide. So right now I'm just going to put this in there, and I'm going to lay it here and see if I position it this way, centered between these patterned strips, then how will it work with the rest of these? And I think that's going to work just fine. So I'm going to use that as a guide, and I'm just going to lay this little piece right there to give me an idea about that's where I'm coming back to. So now what I want to do is add my adhesive right against the fold line of the pocket that we created. Okay, and that's the only place you need to put your adhesive. Okay, so now I'm going to look at this, and as long as I am even on the 2 sides, so that they're going even with the side strips, then I know that I'm going to be even horizontally as well. Okay, so I'm going to put that down and push it down. Now I don't need that piece in there anymore. It's a little bit off, so I'm going to pull it up and just kind of reposition a little tiny bit there. Okay, that's one nice thing about having a dotted adhesive, is that it is flexible. Now, what I want to do is make sure this bottom one is going to have room here, and so I'm going to overlap this a little bit, and again I'm going to use my other piece, my little tag, to give me that hint as to where I'm going to put it. Again, they're just pockets, and so we're going to be fine with wherever we put those down. So I've got that, and once again I am going to match this up with my others and just put it down. Now I've got 2 pockets done. Okay, and now my third pocket, I know that I'm going to have it be just a little distance from the bottom there. And so I'm just going to put the adhesives there. And look at my bottom and match up the sides and pop that down. And there we go. I now have this 3-pocket system here. There we go. It's down in. And this is the other one that's there. And then they've got this little tag in this pocket with this one and this little tiny one here. Then there's a couple of other embellishments that are going to go on this, like so. And that is the completion of that page, because you don't have anything to do with these journaling pieces because you're going to write on them when you put your book together. But I hope that you enjoyed just seeing how quickly this fold out page with multiple pockets and a flip flap can go together. I finished off the last page after I showed you assembling these 2 pages with the flip flap here and the flap on the page here with all the pockets that we put in. And the page next to it also had pockets, but they're individual pockets. There's room for these tags that can either be journaling or you could put a photo in there. There is room for photos. Here are some more of those 2x2s, and remember that special that I mentioned. Be sure to check that out in the link that's down in the description of the video. So there's 4 of those on this page. And then the last page, this has another design on top of it, keeping it real. But again, I'm not ready to put those letters down because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. But there's room for a photo here and your closing thoughts about the book. So it all fits in and is just a wonderful little book to go through. Now, if you're interested in doing this and you have questions, I may not be doing a class, but I'm available. Even if you're not local, we can pick up the phone, we can do some kind of a virtual chat where we can see one another and we can talk it through with my sample and what you're going through and the instructions. We can make it work. So please look into this. It is a great project and I do hope that you enjoy it.